This is Nerd News Cafe. Stir it up with Matt, Landon, and Justin.
Get ready to stir it up. It is round 33, and I'm confident in that number. Didn't want to screw this one up, as always. So, we are back, live, hyped, in control.
You may have gotten the luxury of previewing the number
before
we started recording, which I was not afforded such a luxury.
You didn't ask
for my intro.
You did not ask for a bag or a receipt.
I'm sitting here complaining, and I'm the one in control of that.
Exactly. So, without further ado, this is Matt.
This is Justin.
And I'd rather be in a strike. My name is Landon Destiny. Crap. My name is Land Destiny Don't. My name is Landon Don't.
Good. Well, we've got you here at least for the next 45 minutes or so, and we're going to be talking some Destiny.
Oh, yeah, we are. I'm going to talk about all aspects of Destiny, evidently. Promotions, feel, gameplay.
A lot of Destiny talking this
people
episode.
Who try to put it in their name.
It is your destiny to talk about Destiny.
You know what? It is my destiny.
But before we get to Destiny talk, which is our other podcast,
comes on after the Fordcast.
I think we made a big...
But before the Whorecast.
The Whorecast, yeah. Well, we got the Whorecast and the Harrison cast.
I'm a fan of that last one.
The latter or the former? Yeah.
He'll take a ladder to get to the former.
Who's on first?
Who's on first? It. We made a big promise last week.
We did.
We promised a extravaganza of the Secret Empire.
I believe we called it a Secret Empire smorgasbord.
We did. We
might have. I don't know. I'm going to say we did.
I sound like I'm slurring when I say smorgasbord.
Y'all are going to feel like Templeton at the fair.
I get that reference.
I do not.
I'm just going to leave it at that.
He's 50% in the field right now.
Well, hopefully that's a projection on the audience. 50% of the people are going to really enjoy that one.
That's right.
And that's how I do my jokes.
It's better than the 1%.
I target 50% of the audience.
That's right.
50% are really going to enjoy it. The rest are going to be like, oh, I don't know.
Fast forward.
Yep. Skip
30 seconds.
The audience liked it though.
So without, I want to get into this. I want to hear the projections. What you guys are forecasting for Secret Empire here, and it's a little weather talk because that's all we've heard.
So it's officially wrapped up now, right? It's over.
Yes, it is over.
It's done.
Finished. Indeed. And the last issue we talked about on this podcast was issue 7. So I'm going to break down issue 8, 9, and 10, but I am going to focus more on the overall since it has wrapped up. 8 started. Sam Wilson picks back up the shield of Captain America, sends out a message to the rest of the world, kind of rallies and talks about how we're doing a coordinated strike. And this is it. This is our all in. This is our Hail Mary. This is our last chance. So they take action. They strike in New York. They strike at Hydra in Washington. The heroes stuck on the outside of the shield in space start their attack as well. They actually strike their space station into the shield, trying to take it down, because their plan, the heroes, is they're going to take their cosmic cube shard and try to bring down the shield so the heroes on Earth can get some reprieve, get the tag out to the people in space to come and help. That doesn't work. Sam Wilson, Captain America, gets shot in the chest and plummets to the Earth. So it looks like so bad news for Cap, but out of nowhere, Quasar comes out of a coma in space because comic books. And Quasar starts to rain pain on the shield and brings the shield down. About this time, Sam Wilson, Cap, shows back up, comes back out of the ocean. Also coming out of the ocean is Namor, who is now going to be backing the Resistance, and Bucky shows up too. Kind of a surprise, because we haven't known where Bucky has been this entire time. And the last we saw of Namor, he had actually bended the knee of giving loyalty to Hydra and Captain America, and giving them Stevel, as we like to call him, giving loyalty to Stevel and Hydra their cosmic cube shard, bringing them that much closer to putting the cube together, which is what Hydra, spoiler alert, really wants to do. So this whole time, New York City has been thrown into a blackout, a unnatural blackout. It's not, oh, the lights just went out, or oh, we don't have electricity. There's like something has thrown all of New York into darkness. So in this issue, Shield agent Maria Hill has been doing, agent stuff, as Shield is known to do, and she finds the hero Blackout, who has been put into hiding. Blackout, it turns out, was convinced by Hydra to throw all of New York into blackness. So Maria Hill finds Blackout, kills him, just bang, one shot to the head.
Jeez.
Blackout is dead, and on come the lights. So
Let's see, how do I fix this? Oh, there we go. That's better.
His
Yeah,
lights
New
go
York-
out, New York's lights come on.
Nice.
Exactly. Yeah. They turned on the nightlight in New York City. So that's issue 8. Issue 9, the heroes are now feeling it. They got their mojo back. So they are now going to break out some of their other compatriots that have been captured, including Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man, I should say. So we then cut to the White House and above a, I guess, Hydra helicarrier. Steve-O is meeting with the mutant contingency led by, I believe it's Sebastian Shaw, Hank McCoy the Beast, and Emma Frost the White Queen. And Jay, I think you made reference to this a few weeks ago about how there was kind of an uneasy alliance between the mutants and Hydra. You stay out of our way, we'll stay out of your way, right?
Yep.
Well, that alliance is done. Steve is saying, you bend the knee or we're going to wipe y'all out now. And Emma's like, oh, well, funny that we didn't come here to bend you the knee. We came here to tell you we're done. And Magneto agrees with you. And at that point, Magneto rains pain like only the master of magnetism can.
Absolutely.
Takes down a Hydra helicarrier, which is pretty awesome. I like that. And it's always fun to see Magneto do crazy, powerful Magneto things.
Yeah, and we kind of knew. I mean, he threatened it. He said, "Don't mess with me," because you know.
He's like, you need me more than I need you.
Yep.
He's always been that way, though. It's like on his card. It's like, Magneto, you'll need me more than I'll need you.
So in this particular segment, this piece that you're talking about, you said that Emma Frost has shown up. Have you seen some of the X-Men Blue people? You said Beast was there.
Beast was with the was I guess in the contingency representing the mutants. He wasn't like decked out in armor ready to go on the battlefield. The only other X-Men that I believe we see in this issue, because while all of this is going on, heroes are doing hero things, striking back against evil. The only X-Men I remember seeing is Old Man Logan.
Oh, okay.
I do think I remember seeing Laura Wolverine kind of in the background in some instances. Maybe like I know Polaris has been working kind of covertly against Steve-O and stuff like that. So I think Polaris might have shown up, but
Okay.
but the only mutant that is forefront right now, like name drop recognition, are the contingency right there, Magneto, and then Old Man Logan in the field.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, there's. You said though, you maybe it was Justin, maybe it was you. One of you said that they're really pushing Old Man Logan just because that's what they want to push. And it was like because he is the X-Men currently, I guess.
And Old Man Logan will get a bigger, I guess, moment in the next issue. But in this issue, like I said, the heroes finally feel like they're starting to turn the tide against Hydra and Steve-O. And it even starts to get to the point where the evil Avengers are starting to turn. You might remember a few weeks ago I was talking. It's like it just doesn't make sense that somebody like Thor Odin's son is going along with what Hydra's doing because he knows it's wrong.
Yeah.
Well, Thor finally says no more. He's had enough, and
I am done.
Yeah. He slams the ground like he's the Hulk, screams no more, and it's funny because Taskmaster and Black Ant are I guess they're watching over the champions who have been captured, and the champions are the young Avengers. Practically, it's Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Amadeus Cho, Hulk, the younger heroes.
All your favorites.
Exactly right. Yeah. So when they hear that big thum, they're like, "Oh crap! I know what that means." And Black Ant goes, "What? You don't think Thor turned?" He's like, Taskmaster's like, "That's exactly what happened. Thor turned. We've lost." And he's like, "Yeah, we're done." So then they go cut a deal with the champions, saying, "Okay, if we let you out, you tell them that we were super cool to you, and we let you watch Netflix while you were in lockup. and Taskmaster's like, yeah, and remember that one time I went to Shake Shack for you guys? Make sure and tell them that. At that point, the champions are entered back into the battlefield, and it looks like the heroes are about to, actually strike a major blow against Hydra. Smash cut to Stevel and Baron von Zemo. They've been able to weaponize the cosmic cube that they have. It's not the full cosmic cube, but it's enough to where it makes Stevel practically a god.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so that's how issue 9 ends. Issue 10 picks up. Stevel is in and this is the cover that really, I guess, spoiled what was going to happen. And I didn't realize this until I started to read it. That big giant, at first I thought it was a Green Lantern. It's like, what is a Green Lantern doing in Marvel Comics? Because
it's crossover, baby.
Yeah, well, it's like with the cosmic cube, Stevel makes almost an Iron Man type armor, but it's in Hydra colors, which is green. So he really does look like a Green Lantern Corps type person. And he's talking to these heroes like, before we do this, stop. I know why you think you have to do this, but you are wrong. And Old Man Logan's like, let me stop you. We've heard this talk before. You're gonna tell us about how we're fighting for evil and you're wrong. We've heard this before. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, I feel kind of safe saying, speaking for everybody here, you can just skip to the end. And my favorite moment in this issue, of all people, in the background, you see Hawkeye pull an arrow from his quiver. Nat, this is for you, you son of a bitch. Avengers assemble. And everybody just dog piles on Stevel. And everybody's getting in their licks. We got a couple panels of a few good shots. And with the flick of a wrist, Stevel kills them all.
Oh, my God.
Jeez.
Not only does he kill them all, he starts to wipe their memory from existence. As in,
TPK.
they never happened. So while this is happening, I'm going to crack a beer because this is getting even more convoluted.
Here we go.
He needs a special recipe to get going.
Okay, quick sidebar. This entire time during Secret Empire, we've had we've had scenes and conversations of what looks like our Captain America. Steve Rogers, the Cap that we all identify with up until Secret Empire stuff. The Truth, Justice, and American Way Captain America, and he's been walking around what I assumed was some subconscious, like trying to fight against fight against whatever evil in his mind. And I assumed it was his subconscious trying to grapple with what's going on. It was a subconscious, but it wasn't the subconscious of him. Do you guys know who Kobik is?
I do not know Kobik.
No.
Okay.
Cobra Kai?
This is why I cracked a beer, because it's going to get so convoluted. Kobik is the consciousness and personification of the cosmic cube.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Is this what Ultron turned into?
No. Kobik is an 8-year-old girl who Hydra and the Red Skull brainwashed into thinking Hydra good, everything else bad. So this is what turned Steve Rogers into Stevel.
Wow.
Is Kobik. So, but jump back up to where before our sidebar. Our Steve Rogers Captain America jumps in front of Stevel, like out of nowhere, just appears. Like, wait,
okay.
What? Because Bucky was shrunk down by the Ant-Man to subatomic level and was shot in to the cosmic cube.
Inner
That's
space.
right. Bucky went into the cosmic cube, ladies and gentlemen, to go look for Captain America because comic books. So Captain America is trapped inside of Kobik cosmic cube thing, and here's Bucky, and that's enough to get Steve to be like, you know what? I'm going to go towards the voice. I'm going to go towards the light that's saying my name. So
It sounds like a poltergeist scene.
Yeah.
It sounds very confusing, and I read it, but we're almost there. I promise.
This cube is clean.
Yeah, pretty. So Captain America gets there and is like, you are not Captain America. This is wrong. Blah blah blah. And it's kind of fun because the entire world is watching this fight. It's broadcast on everything that has any sort of signal, and we have panels of people watching around the world because the literal fate of the world hangs in the balance. It's good versus evil. And in this, like I really like this exchange between the two, between Stevel and Steve, because they recreate a lot of, I guess, famous Captain America artwork in panels. In one panel, they recreate Captain America going face to face with Thanos in the Infinity Gauntlet or in the Infinity Wars, knowing he has no way to win. But you know what? As long as he's still drawing a breath, he's going to keep carrying the fight to his face. They recreate that scene. They recreate the scene where Iron Man's bringing down his optic blast, or not optic blast, he's not Cyclops, his ion blasts onto Captain America's shield in Civil War. They recreate that scene. I thought that was cool. And Stevel realizes he might actually, he might not actually be able to pull this one out. So he goes to pick up Mjolnir, which has been like, he who is worthy of Hydra can wield Mjolnir. So Stevel goes to pick it up. It does not budge. Cap walks over there, picks it up. As he grabs the handle, it rewrites itself to where it says, he who holds this hammer carries the power of Thor. Just decks the crap out of Stevel. And good wins, everybody. Good wins. So after all of that, Kobik sets everything back the way it was, ... except for the fact that the Black Widow apparently is still dead in this universe. So that is the one thing that Kobik did not set back. But history is set back the way it was. And to thank all these heroes for, stepping up when, everything mattered the most, Kobik gives them what she calls a journey of discovery, a piece of knowledge, which pivots right into the Generation story arc that Jay's been talking about last few weeks. It feels like, current Marvel hero is seeing an older or a previous iteration of his or herself, and they're able to learn something from that. So, like, I texted y'all after I got done reading Secret Empire and the Generations version of Hawkeye. I could consider Generations a spinoff of
it
Secret
sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds like it just spins right into
Yeah, it's like, hello.
Dovetails right on in, as they say.
Yeah, it really does. But, and exhale, that's Secret Empire.
Yeah, in a nutshell. So, I knew the end. Because since I wasn't reading the comic book, I read the articles where they gave the spoilers. After reading it, and I know we kind of talked about this last week, can you think of any reason why Marvel would have spoiled the ending of this story before it even came out? I just can't imagine why.
I can't think of a reason why they would, or purposely spoil the big end of what had been, up to that point, been a several-month crossover event with all these months of planning. It's like, yeah, okay, maybe some people were starting to kind of duck out and lose a little bit of interest just because of how long it had been going on. But even if that was true, I don't think putting the end of the story out there would have been a good business move, because at that point, those people who were invested would have been like, oh, okay, well, what I thought was going to happen happens. I'm not going to go back and read the last 3 issues or whatever.
I have a follow-up question to this codec thing.
I don't know.
Yes.
So when you said that they miniaturized Bucky and shot him into the Cosmic Cube, did he go inside the little girl?
I am going to step away from the microphone.
No, I mean to say almost like an inner space.
Yeah, did he have to
go
go like a molecule level, or
was it?
Well, he was shrunk down by Ant-Man. So I mean, like, he went subatomic level. Like,
there you go.
If you've seen the Ant-Man movie, you remember it's like don't go above or don't go below subatomic.
Right.
Well, he went subatomic and he went inside the Cosmic Cube, and
which was in the form of a little girl.
Well, inside the Cosmic Cube, I guess the Cosmic Cube saw itself as a little girl. Like I said, there's a reason I cracked a beer while I was talking about this.
It's a little bizarre.
We knew the Infinity Stones had personalities. Because, they kind of refer to it a little bit here and there. But, that's weird.
It's just...
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So, and then you said that like the Codex set everything right. So all those people that dogpiled on Stevel and were killed, they're back. They all came back.
Yeah, with the exception of
Black Widow.
I think every hero is back. Which, if everybody comes back, why did Black Widow did she miss the cutoff? Did she not file paperwork or something?
She was distracted.
Like that?
She was doing something else at the time.
Maybe
everybody was like, "All right, get on the bus. We're going back." And she's like, she was in the bathroom.
Yeah,
they left her in the bathroom.
She's like, "No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna grab some snacks. You guys wait. I'll be right there."
She came out with her big gulp, and she was like, "Where'd the bus go?"
It's the bus.
Like, I could have swore we were parked right here, and there was more of us.
Yeah. So that's weird. I wonder what.
There's got to be something
what's
to
behind that decision.
Yeah, there's got to be something to that.
Yeah. So
unless we're trying to get rid of her character.
But you
too.
said like her death was separate from all these others. I mean, it was. I wonder.
Yeah, that is true. Black Widow died previously before this assault. She died trying to stop Miles Morales from trying to kill Captain America or Stevel trying to kill Miles Morales. And in that final battle where Clint Barton really rallies the Avengers, I mean, that's a very big catalyst part of that story is the Black Widow's death. So I guess maybe in Marvel's eyes, they would think maybe it cheapens the impact of her death if it's just retconned and fixed. But at the same time, it's like, it's comic book. She'll be back eventually. So
I'm going to keep using my anachronistic references to Doctor Who and say that Black Widow's death must be a time-locked event that they can't do anything about. And it was necessary to set the rest of it in motion.
So do you think we'll get a new Black Widow?
I would, knowing the Black Widow, I wouldn't be surprised if whenever Natalia does pop back up, it's going to be some like big elaborate ruse that she faked her death so she could go back underground, because she knew if she died in a very if it appeared she died in a very public manner, in that sense, everybody would know that that the Black Widow is dead, so she could go further undercover.
There you
I
go.
don't know.
That's true.
Are you in the writer's room, Landon?
He's tapping in.
No, I've just read every comic book ever. So.
Every comic book ever.
So now that you have concluded the Secret Empire story arc, what is your overall rating? Like, if you were going to give somebody, like, if somebody said, I've got Marvel Unlimited, I'm going to read through the story, or should I waste my time? What do you think?
Out of 10 millionaires, how many do you get?
If in this example you're signed up for Marvel Unlimited and you wait, I guess 4 or 5 months from now, by the time all of the stories from Secret Empire is available on Marvel Unlimited, yeah, sure, give it your time. I think it's interesting enough. I would say it's more interesting and weird is probably the wrong word to use, but that's the word that keeps coming back to my mind. It's more interesting and weird and peculiar than it is like, oh my God, this is gripping, this is riveting. It's like I definitely think from that aspect, give it a shot. But at the same time, if you have to make a financial investment into this story to read it, and it is somewhat of a financial investment, because I mean, just the main story itself is 11 issues. I would have a hard time justifying spending the money again. If I had to give it a 10 on a scale of 10, I'd give it like a 6.5.
Okay.
Like,
that's fair.
And I'll be honest, like, if the only thing that kept me going through, because I mean, these last 3 issues, they've been out for a little bit, and money's been a little bit tight. I had to justify spending that, but also it's like part of the reason I felt like I had to finish the story is A, I've gotten this far, B, I talk about it on a podcast, and C, I was just interested to see how they're going to get them out of, or how they're going to get themselves out of the corner it looked like they painted themselves into, and it seems like they're just going to use the cosmic cube and erase lines wherever they need to. So.
Okay. Well, there you go. There is your Secret Empire smorgasbord.
That's right.
Hope
Baked
you got
up
your
and ready.
fill.
Yeah, wish I could come in ranting and raving saying it was the greatest thing ever since, the printed word. But a lot of really interesting ideas and some interesting moments. But as a whole, just it seems like it's just another in the long line of current Marvel crossovers.
Yeah, and it seems like it was in service of kicking off the Generations thing, maybe, and then going into the Marvel Legacy. So it's all leading in the direction of where Marvel's going.
Though I am curious if a lot of my opinion and the opinion of the public would be shaded differently if, certain stuff in real life wasn't playing out to where people could see parallels and similarities into their current government and the government that was portrayed in Secret Empire.
Right.
I will say, like, that at some points did definitely enter the back of my mind. It's like, oh God, yeah, I'm seeing some parallels.
Made you feel like you were watching Star Trek, the original series. It was a little unnerving and spooky.
Exactly.
That is eating you alive, isn't it? That is eating you alive.
Holding up a mirror to my face saying, wake up, sheeple.
Sheeple.
I need comic books as an escape from reality, not as a reminder.
I don't need your masks of what my world is.
Cool. All right. I think it's time for Hot and Streamy then.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Landon, are you ready for your segment?
Hold on. Let me toss it to myself. And now for Hot and Streamy, here's Landon Doan. Here's my Peter Frampton talkbox effect for Hot and Streamy. Thanks, me. That was a great intro. I greatly appreciate it.
We're talking
No,
Destiny
but
2.
once again, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we're talking Destiny 2, and you're the guy. You're the expert.
I was going to let one of you get a word in edgewise because I feel like you won't for the next 15 minutes. But yes.
I'm just destitute with Destiny, so I don't have
that's
it.
That's what you did there.
You like that, huh?
As a play on words. But yes, Activision and Bungie's Destiny 2 has been released on PlayStation 4, Xbox One. The PC version comes in about 6 weeks, which from what I hear, the PC version looks gorgeous. Kotaku.com had an article during the open beta, and they turned everything on their high-rig gaming machine to ultra. They said they were able to see the individual facial expressions on enemies. Like that.
Wow.
That's insane.
That is so insane. So the fact that technology can approach that is awesome, and the fact that Bungie is putting that into first-person shooters is even cooler. But
that makes sniping fun.
Oh, absolutely! Yeah, you can see right as you pull the trigger from the millisecond they realize what's happened to the millisecond it takes the bullet to hit the face.
That's right.
But I've put in tons of hours into Destiny 2, and one thing that's different from Destiny. Well, I'm trying to remember. It's been a hot minute or two since I played the original Destiny fresh with no saved data or anything. You have to beat the story mode, or you have to progress in the story mode to unlock certain stuff like patrols and strikes and other stuff like that. They really want you to play the story mode, which I'm all for, because in this instance, there's an actual honest to God story in Destiny 2.
Well, that, and I will say, I will give them that they organically introduce those things to you. You know, you can't go on patrols if you don't know the planet. You know, if you don't know what's happening, you can't go on strikes if you're not introduced to how that works in that system. You know.
Yeah, so, that makes sense.
So I think that's that's I like that. I like that aspect. It's like, hey, you got to play just a little bit.
And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, especially in this instance, because like I said, there's an actual story in Destiny 2. It's like I put hundreds of hours into the original Destiny, and up until I think it was the second piece of DLC, I could not tell you anything about the story. And there will be people be like, oh, well, Landon, there was a great story that Destiny told. You just had to go look up these Grimoire cards. I'm like, no. Let me stop you right there. The second you tell me I have to go on a website to look up cards and do homework so your story makes sense, that's when I'm out.
When it sounds like the library is the trip you got to make there.
If I got to go into the gaming Dewey Decimal System, I don't care about your story at that point. But it's like in Destiny 2, it is boom, presented to you front and center. The story, you're fighting Gaul. Gaul and the Red Legion come in and wipe out Tower, and your story is striking back at Gaul and saving your people and reestablishing the last city of humanity. And the story's great. The characters that they introduce past the original fire team you meet, past Cade 6, past Ikora, past oh God, I just blanked on his name. He's voiced by Daniels from The Wire. Zala. Yeah, past them, they introduce some new characters. Hawthorne, I like that. That adds a new wrinkle and a new voice to the Destiny world. And I really like some of the zones they've introduced. You go back to some familiar locales like Ios and Jupiter and stuff like that. But then you go European Dead Zone. And that is just such a fun, vibrant area. It looks different. Well, and I will say this, graphically, I already talked about the PC. It looks great. This is a very graphically pleasing game. The colors are so vibrant, and the world that it makes is so big, and it builds on each other. I really like that. And talking about the European Dead Zone, you get to see all these greens and some floral that, I feel like you don't get a lot of in first-person shooters. It seems like every first-person shooter wants to be these drab grays and browns and greens and stuff.
Everything's dead.
Exactly. We're Destiny. It's like, nah, cool. We're gonna turn all the colors to 10. Look at this. We got green and blue water over here. It's fun.
We got all the colors. I'm glad you mentioned that because I felt like I noticed that in the trailer, and I was like, the trailer makes it look like it's going to be more colorful,
a little vibrant,
like visually interesting. Yeah.
Very much more colorful. Like I said, it's a very fun world to look at, and even some of the stuff like in the background that you can't get to. At one point, you're sent off to Jupiter and you land on one of their moons, and just the world that this planet is on, it's nothing but a planet of water, and the water effects and the storm and the weather that all impacts the graphics you see. It's so cool. It's such a visually engaging game, and I think it stands out compared to a whole lot of other first person shooters. I mean, compared to Overwatch, it might not look all that colorful, but Overwatch is like playing a Pixar game. That's the exception, not the rule. Like, compared to your Call of Duties, compared to your, Battlefields and Battlefronts, I feel like this is a game that it looks so much better, and that it kind of stands out. And I mean, end of the day, it comes down to how does it play. This plays just like Destiny 1 did, and that's not a bad thing. They took 85% of what you know from the original game, added some new abilities to it, tweaked it, tightened it up, and it's like riding a bike, except the bike now has a secondary ability.
Can you go back to the other zones? Like, can you go back to Mars, and can you go
get your ass to Mars?
You can't go free roam. So, for example, you can't go back to the moon if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And just look around and see what was left from Destiny 1. Like you cannot do that. Like Destiny 2, it stands alone from Destiny 1 and you can only go to the areas that they want you to go to.
Okay. I didn't know, that was the big complaint on the first one, is that it looked as though there was a big expansion, but they weren't opening it up to people.
I mean, other than like I talked about those background pieces, like, the sea that goes on as far as the eye can see. Yeah. I haven't really felt like I've ran into invisible walls or areas where it's like, oh, I want to go walk around here. Oh, I can't. I haven't run into any instances of that. I'm sure it's in there because it's a vast game with tons of stuff to do. But me personally, I have not run into that.
Okay. I just wondered, you said you can't go back. Can you go back to the reef? I know that was like a huge thing there towards the end.
No, you cannot go to the reef, but they have all new locales and stuff like that you can go check out. And like the farm, for example, that's where you go in the immediate aftermath after Tower. I think that's fun, and it's a nice juxtaposition compared to Tower and stuff like that, where Tower was this high tech beacon at like society's finest, all prim and proper. Well, here's the farm. It's just kind of out in the woods.
That's cool.
It's kind of cool. And then same with the European Dead Zone. I think European Dead Zone is my favorite zone just from the look of it. It feels it would feel familiar to us in the structure that we're used to, the 21st century at this point. But at the same time, you look at it, it's like, oh, this is familiar, but at the same time, it's also foreign. So I like the fact that it can build on familiarity, but still make it feel new.
They still have I guess they still have the sparrows. I know they were supposed to do some updating on that.
Yeah, sparrows you unlock at 20, so that will help you traversing around the world vastly. Yeah. And that's
I like the Sparrows. They were fun. I didn't care for the Sparrow racing they did later on, but
Yeah,
I do like Sparrows.
I didn't do any of the racing, but yeah, Sparrows are back, and again, it feels just like it did in the original Destiny. I mean, if you put any amount of time into Destiny, you're going to pick up the controller for Destiny 2 and be like, okay, the circle button, if I hold it down, it gives me a class ability. Other than that, I mean, like, you know exactly what you're doing. And and I really got to commend Bungie for that. They fixed what they needed to fix, but they didn't reinvent the wheel.
You know, and that's really what you kind of look for in these sequels too. Is we talked about it before. You want it to feel like, you know, putting on a familiar sweater or your favorite pair of jeans.
Yeah,
like, it fits nice. You're accustomed to it. You're comfortable, right?
That's what you want from a legacy game, though.
That's what you want, but you don't want it to reinvent the wheel. You just want it to expand on what you know. You want it to add some new things, but don't forget where you came from, really.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're doing that, fixing some issues that's what's building my anticipation for Battlefront 2, because that's what it sounds like we're going to get there too. So I'm really hoping. I know it's two different developers, but I'm just really hoping that this is a good sign, and for future sequel games that we're going to
franchises.
Yeah,
because that's what we're getting out of this is we're getting franchises like we have in our movies now. It's and game developers are doing a little bit different stuff. I heard there was some outcry over some things on Destiny 2 over the shaders.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. If your biggest complaint about a multi-million-dollar big AAA franchise launch is the shaders, I would consider that a victory for Bungie.
That's
and
a W.
a victory for us as a whole, because this is one of these times where it really does feel like the hype the hype was justified. It lived up to all these, illusions of grandeur that the gaming community has built up. But yeah, Matt alluded to it. In this game, there is a difference in the shaders. In the original game, once you got a shader, you could, just drop and use it however you see fit, like, equip it, unequip it, put it back in your bank, but it would still be there, and it would apply to every piece of gear you're wearing. In Destiny 2, the shaders are consumable, and they only apply to one specific set of gear. So if you wanted to apply the Two-Toed Titans blue shader, and you only had one of them, you could only apply the Two-Tones Titan shader to your chest, your head, your arms, et cetera, et cetera. So if you wanted the set to match, you would have to get enough pieces to where everything matches. So some people are kind of aggravated about that. And you can there's an in-game currency you can buy, of course, to get these shaders. It's silver. You can spend silver to get shaders. So it's like, on the one hand, yeah, I do understand it's kind of aggravating that this is another thing put behind microtransactions. But at the same time, it's like, this is a strictly cosmetic thing. And plus, at the same time, I will say, them being consumables, like one-time use, that is a bummer, and that is going to suck. But at the same time, being able to mix and match some color schemes, that could really lead.
I was about to say, that was on the shaders before, it's like if you picked red and whatever, it was the whole suit. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
This sounds more fun. Like, you could really do some stupid stuff with your, with some arrows. Like, all my guns are orange. They're always orange, and I'm never going to make them anything else.
Yeah, you could. You could do that, and it's like one of the bigger complaints on the shader is, and I do think this is a legitimate gripe, is like early on leveling up. I mean, in Destiny, in theory, you should be getting at least one new piece of gear every so often to replace something you're wearing, until the point where you get to the end game and you get your exotics and you get your legendaries, and then it's like, okay, I've found what I want to wear. So it might be a bummer to burn these shaders early on, and it's like, oh crap, I just found a piece of gear that's better for me, but I just burned this shader on it. So leveling up, that is kind of a bummer, and that's why I ended up just literally hoarding every shader I found until I got to endgame. So.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything, like you said, you're changing stuff out as you level. Depending on how quickly you level, why use that stuff? That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm. And so that's the aspect of the game that's never changed either. It's like, you're going to get something better.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Just because you found a highlight level legendary, eventually you're going to get that exotic Ingram that's going to drop that helm or whatever you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just hold off. Keep your shaders. I know it's difficult. They're burning a hole in your pocket.
I was probably an outlier on this. I don't know. There's probably people like me. There were certain aspects of my character I would be like, I just don't like the way that looks. That looks as stupid as it gets. Even though it's higher than anything else I've got, it still looks stupid. It's like, I'm going to go back to the other one I liked. It may be a couple levels down, but I'm definitely going back to this one.
But in this instance, you can do something they introduced after, I forget which DLC it was, the original Destiny. You can fuse your weapons. And I have been fusing so many. There's one exotic weapon if you pre-ordered with Best Buy. Heck, you still might be able to run out and get Destiny now. It still might come with the code loaded in the front of it. I'm not sure. It's called the Cold Heart. It looks just like a Ghostbuster proton beam that you just shoot, and it's a beam of ice. And I have infused that thing to like up to level 270, and it just wrecks face. I love that thing. So that is the nice thing. If you find a piece of gear that you just love and want to continue to use, you can continue to upgrade it and justify it to where it's powerful enough where you can still use it, as opposed to just, I'm going to use this because it looks cool, not because it is good.
Yeah, I know. I love that aspect of the fusing. I had a pistol that was just like my go-to weapon. And I know normally people like, the auto rifles or, I don't know.
I was a shotgun guy.
You're a shotgun guy. The pistol and the scout rifle were my go-to. Like, I get a scout rifle and I just, hammer down on them. And when they got too close to me, pull that pistol out. Pop, 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 pop. Just wear them out.
Oh, yeah.
They had like a pistols in like the 270s. I mean, that thing was fun. So, yeah, I understand. I love fusing weapons.
And by fusing weapons, it really, you can almost become attached to some pieces of gear. Like I found an exotic helmet pretty early on, like when I was leveling up, and it's like I had that thing all the way up until I found another piece of exotic gear, and it's like, okay, well, time to retire you to the bank, or until I want to fuse you back up and use you again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, until I want those devil horns back.
Exactly. Yeah.
I only look like Daredevil. I have all black shaders.
Hey, that's pretty metal right there.
Yeah, that's cool. So you talked about things you got with pre-order and as such. You wanna talk about the perks that you get by buying Destiny from Target?
Oh yes, act now if you go to Target and get Destiny 2 for the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, they will throw in a not limited edition box of Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. Yes!
Pop-Tarts, y'all. Catch it.
It tastes like gunmetal. It's got true grit.
And I brought this up in our, pre-recording goof around session, and Jay broke a little bit of news to me, kind of a callback to last week. If you go buy select boxes of Pop-Tarts, you can get double XP for Destiny 2.
Yeah. So people, Destiny fanatics are buying up all the Pop-Tarts. I actually saw some
straight
tweets.
Going to Costco, baby.
I saw some tweets on this, where people are just like, mass purchases of Pop-Tarts. Yeah,
I'm gonna sell the Pop-Tarts on the open market. I'm gonna keep the wrappers.
Brilliant.
Yeah, there you go. It's like we just want the packaging. You can have the Pop-Tarts.
Honestly, it's brilliant for Pop-Tarts.
Oh, absolutely. Like they weren't selling enough.
Yeah,
they've only got like 1 billion flavors.
Yeah, we're going to go down to Sam's and just buy them by the flats.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So then you got something to eat. You wash it down with your Monster Energy drinks.
Because your Origins is coming out, and you need all the extra stuff you can get out of that.
Yeah.
God knows how many of those you got to drink, but you got to buy them in 6-packs or 12-packs.
Yep.
Exactly, yeah. Though, like Pop-Tarts, really? It's like, okay, Monster Energy drink, I can kind of see the correlation with gamers, because it's like, okay, you need the energy and the caffeine and the sugar.
Dude, here it is right here. Here it is. Let me explain it. You get up in the morning on an off day. You don't want to waste your time cooking breakfast.
No,
you want to get to your gaming as quick as possible. So you
gotta
take
rip
your
that full.
Some people don't heat up their Pop-Tarts. I call them terrorists.
I'm not a heater up.
You want to put you're a terrorist. You want to put the Pop-Tarts in the toaster oven or the toaster. You got time to fire up your PlayStation, your Xbox, what have you. Get the game loaded up, get ready to go. Then bing, food's ready. And Pop-Tarts you can eat one-handed. The problem is if you're playing on your PC, you're going to get crumbs all in your keyboard.
That's why you get that little. You get that. You remember the covers? You could get the little plastic keyboard covers.
That.
Yeah, you need that.
Like they use in the hospital, so you can get blood in the keyboard.
Gross.
Which could happen, I guess, if you might start like bleeding from your nose if you're pounding Monster Energy drinks and eating Pop-Tarts. You're going to have blood dripping into your controller or your keyboard.
I've got to ask this on a personal level. Your son has related to me several times. He enjoys the Jolly Rancher Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Please
Those
tell
are
me.
limited edition.
Those are limited edition.
As they should be. Is it true?
Is it true?
Is it true that he's warming these up and eating them?
Yeah, he heats them up.
Gross.
Yeah, hot Jolly Rancher flavor.
Gross.
That's what everybody wants.
Oh my God, that makes my stomach turn. Hot Jolly Ranchers.
Hot Jolly Rancher right in the back of the throat.
That sounds like a fun thing to say. Hot Jolly Rancher. Instead of holy smokes, Hot Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
I'm going to start using that in my daily life now.
You should.
Go for it, man.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
then
I
just
do
throw in
want
a
to
hashtag Nerd News Cafe.
hashtag Hot Jolly Rancher. We should say that for like news now that just comes out of nowhere. It's like, this is a Hot Jolly Rancher, baby. It's coming at you. Hashtag Hot Jolly Rancher.
I will tell you this. The only ones I tried, because they have cherry, apple, and watermelon, the only ones I tried were the cherry. You know what they taste like? A freaking Jolly Rancher. And
A
it's
hot
amazing.
Jolly Rancher.
It's a
I would
little
hope so.
It's a little Star Trek unnerving because because you put a Pop-Tart in your mouth expecting it to taste a little Pop-Tarty, and it is Jolly Rancher flavor.
Blech.
It's crazy. They nailed it. It's like when you get
like
a candle and the candle's like
And it doesn't taste like the flavor.
it never tastes like lemon meringue pie like it says it's going to.
It's waxy.
I don't. Yeah. it's
Yeah, I
it's
really
bizarre.
hate eating candles and then they don't taste anything like the label says.
It really ticks me off. The same thing happens with lotion.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like cinnamon roll, and you're like, really? And you want to pour it in your mouth, and you're like,
But I mean, at least with lotion, you can just drop a straw into it and drink.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's like a thick shake.
oh, you don't want
Yeah, a
to you don't
very
want to
thick
suck it up.
shake.
Then you get the lotion in the back of your throat. Although it's really good. I do recommend you can do that if you're going to be a podcaster or a singer. Take a straw so you can suck that stuff right. You don't have to go right over it. Bypass your tongue.
Right.
Bypass the taste buds. Suck it right into the back of your throat. That'll grease up the vocal cords.
The golden pipes.
The golden pipes. Yeah, it's ideal.
I feel like at this point we need to put a medical disclaimer saying that Justin Kritzinger is not a doctor, nor do we recommend doing anything he's
doing anything that we just said.
Please consult your own medical professional.
Oh, goodness.
If you do want to taste it, just melt some Jolly Ranchers. Put some hot Jolly Rancher in the lotion. And then put the lotion in the basket.
So,
And then start freebasing your melted down Jolly Ranchers.
so for these Destiny Pop-Tarts.
Direct them, inject them in between your
Yeah,
toes.
just shoot them in. Shoot them up. Shoot up at the Pop-Tarts. Do you think that they have like, I mean, is this going to be like Destiny exclusive Pop-Tarts? I mean, are they going to have like the Mars tart and, you know,
What is it going to be
Jupiter
like?
Pooper
Kate's
tart.
Strawberry Explosion or something?
yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or Ikora's Blueberry Bonanza.
That's the one she enjoys. Oh my God, if they work that into the game where like you just like the little Easter eggs of Pop-Tarts laying on different things.
No,
yes.
no.
Yes.
There needs to be a bonus level where you're fighting one of those anthropomorphic
The
Pop-Tarts that's
Pop-Tarts,
dancing around.
You're just blowing pieces of him away.
Yeah.
So from like Diablo 3, it's like the rainbow level. Or whatever. It's the cow level.
Yep. There is no cow level. Hey, speaking of Diablo, I'm just gonna slide right on into Diablo talk and just ask you a couple questions. We were talking about season play for Diablo, and my wife and I have been playing some season 11 Diablo. We hit 70. We've been knocking out. We're all the way through chapter 3 of the season play, starting on 4. Here are my questions. It's a list. Number 1.
Number 1.
My age-old question. Why? Well, and I mean, what's the point? Because at the end of the season, all this stuff goes away except for the recipes you learn. Is that correct?
And the
What
pets,
do you get
yes.
from this? The pets and the recipes, that's it. That's
Yes.
all. So why
And any cosmetic stuff you find, yeah.
why do I want to spend hundreds of hours doing the season aside from saying that I did it and I got this cool recipe? Because it does. I read that it gives you like the patterns so that you can make like a suit of armor for a particular class. Mm-hmm. Is that true?
Yeah. You will learn how to make the set of armor, but it also unlocks that set of armor for this season for you to use. So once you've completed acts 1 through 4, you should have unlocked your 6-piece class set. So you should have like all your armor, all your season gear ready to roll, ready to kick ass. And to answer your question, why? I mean, the day we're recording this is week 1 of the 2017 NFL season. So I mean, why did they put in the work last season when it was last season's?
Because they get to keep the trophy at the end.
Okay, well, you get to keep the recipes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like this is stuff that you will not be able to get any other way unless you go through unless you do the season 11 stuff. Like for example, I'm sure you've gotten that green emerald dragon pet. That's the only way you can get it is by doing the season 11 stuff. It's like there's stuff that I have just straight up missed out on seasons 1 through 10 that unless I get the luckiest of lucky drops, I am never going to see. Period. Okay. Or let alone know exists.
So we're talking digital collectibles.
Exactly. Yeah.
Things that don't exist.
No tangible effort.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it.
and another reason to why, it's so damn fun.
It is fun. I agree with that, but I do have, so I'm very close to having a 70 Witch Doctor, which has been a pain in the butt, and I almost have a 70 Monk. I've already got a Demon Hunter, a Crusader, a Barbarian, and those may be my 70s that I have right now. Those 3. So I almost have a couple more, and I'm leveling the Necromancer. So as I'm trying to justify, Sam and I sit down, we're getting ready to play Diablo. She's like, let's play our seasonal characters. And I go, well, why wouldn't we level our Necromancers who are non-seasonal? Because I know I'm going to get to keep those forever, and this person's just going to vanish.
Mm-hmm. See, that's smart, getting the Necromancer pass, going into season play. I realize it's like, oh, I really want to play the Necromancer, but if I make him in the season, he or she is going to go bye-bye as soon as season 12 starts. My girlfriend, on the flip side, did not make that realization until she got to level 7. She's like, oh, I'm going to lose my Necromancer, aren't I? I'd be like, yep, yes, you
Goodbye,
are.
Army of Skeletons.
Yep, see ya. But I mean, that's the thing about Necromancer. Just get literal every spawn you can think of and just stand in a room and you're going to kill everything.
Yeah. I'm doing that. I have to do that with the Witch Doctor, too.
Witch Doctor and Necromancer are very similar.
I'm playing on Torment 4 with my Witch Doctor by myself. And
going soloing with a Witch Doctor is a little bit easier than other classes because you have pets and stuff. But I mean, you're still squishy.
Yeah. You go up against like a teleporting elite beast or something like that. Forget about it. You're just running around like a naked monkey. And hoping that you don't get squashed because you can get like one-shotted by these things. It sucks. It's hard.
Sounds hard.
I think Cassie and we were playing at I think it was Torment 6 or whatever, and it's like we're both like past 7, and it's like there's still some just combinations of elites and legendaries and stuff. It's like this could not go anywhere. It's like, oh sweet, They freeze, they wall you in, they have those crazy arcane laser beams. I hate those. Those are the worst.
Those are
and then on top of that, they blow up when they die.
And the screen will be full of arcane laser beams. If you think it won't be, it will be, by the way. There will be no place to stand. And if you find a place to stand, you've got lava underneath you. The floor is lava.
The floor is always lava.
Yeah.
There's no couches to jump on with your characters.
Too.
That's why it's tough to solo. In my opinion, it's tough to solo the non-tanks because you have to find your spot. But when you're playing on these higher levels of difficulty, all the elites can spawn all these other things that do AoE damage and take up the whole screen. So where do you go?
And then I'm like, I don't even know where I'm at. I'm just going to mash every button. Burn all the cooldowns.
Yeah, burn them all. I was in the... it's hard to describe this dungeon, but you might remember it. It's one... I want to say it's in the... it's like... Oh, crap. I can't remember the zone. But anyway, you go in, and it's like a... There's a treasure room that's behind a waterfall, and first you have to like turn the 2 gears... To get the waterfall to stop, and then you go down the treasure room. Well, of course, it's a giant treasure chest on this little platform. Well, when you open the treasure chest, it's haunted, of course.
Of course.
Well, there is nowhere to run, literally, because the platform you're on only takes up a quarter of the screen. Well, unfortunately, the ghost can like siphon life from you if you're not farther away than that. So I literally died probably 17 times during that fight.
Jeez.
Yeah. And what sucks is if you're using zombie dogs and the big zombie golem dude, you can't.
Gargantuan.
Yeah, the gargantuan. You can't summon them in. Like there's like a 2-minute cooldown. So if you die, you spawn back in. You can't resummon them for a while.
You're just running around lobbing spiders, hoping for the best.
Pretty much. That was a fun day. That was a fun day. So
Sound like the whole day.
it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been in those fights where it's just you're grinding, waiting for your cooldowns. Like anything, hell, I'll take my potion cooldown. Just give me something.
Yeah, you're just running. You're literally running like trying to avoid landmines. Just running in circles, trying not to hit the spots because it's like another arcane laser. I gotta actually. There was a situation where I had to split 2 arcane lasers. I was like, I'm not gonna make it, and then like Millennium Falcon style, I just turned it sideways right through the teeth.
Diablo 3 is a lot of exercise and rationale and figuring out which is going to hurt less because a lot of times there's not a way out that is not going to be painless.
Exactly. But it's fun. It is a fun game.
Very much so.
We've been
And it's
talking
like,
a lot of Diablo lately. I love it.
and another reason to the why you ask is because it keeps the game fresh. It gives us a reason to go back to a game that like had sat on my shelf for like 18 months that I haven't touched, but it's like, oh, cool, Necromancer, I'll check that out. Oh, wow, the seasons are finally on console. The seasons are awesome. So that is another reason why. It gives you more reason to go back and play a game that you've already put countless of hours into.
Yeah. Blizzard knows what they're doing, y'all.
They
know
do.
what's up.
They know how to do events, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that reminds me. I didn't get all the Overwatch skins from this summer season's games.
I almost got them all. I think I missed a couple, but I almost got them all.
I really wanted Grillmaster 76.
I got that one.
Oh, you bastard.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did get that one.
I wanted that one so bad.
I don't think I got Widowmaker's bikini.
Well, that's what the internet's for. Plus, that would just distract me while I'm playing. Oh, wait, no, I've said too much.
So real quick, I want to mention before we start recording today, we put out the question on our Facebook fan page, getting ready to make some podcast magic. What's the one thing we got to talk about this week? We got a response from Thomas Walker. His response was confusing to me because I didn't know what this meant, but it was Gunpla.
Yep.
So I looked it up.
What now?
Robots.
It's Gundam toys.
Gundam toys.
Gundam models.
Yep.
I know
It's
nothing
but
about
toilet
those.
sounds.
I know nothing about them. So
Numerous releases, very expensive, and from what I understand, it will consume you.
So
Well,
here's
okay. Sorry,
ahead.
I was going to ask. I have in the past put together like models of Gundams. Is that what we're talking about,
that's
or
what it
is.
are these like these hot toy like $499 like you can see
they're not that much.
the pores on Tony Stark's
from my
face.
very cursory research that I just did, very high level. It looks like it's just the Gundam plastic models. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
They range from like $40 to $200.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you asked for it, we did it. There it was. The end. I don't know what else to say about it.
Justin Kritsinger.
I know they're building a huge one in Japan.
A huge model.
A huge like a huge robot.
Is it actually going to like defend Japan?
I don't know. I just know that they're working on it. It's a big dude. I mean, they're trying to figure out how to make him move.
That it would
Well,
be.
Gundam has always been one of those properties that, like, I've always been kind of like interested in. It's like, I don't know if y'all growing up watching Toonami or whatever, when they introduced, at least for us, that original Gundam Wing series, I loved everything about that. And like the Gundams themselves, big giant robots fighting each other. What's not to like? It's like, I like the fact that it seems like Dragon Ball is starting to kind of slowly creep its way back into pop culture, stuff like that. I would be okay if Gundam did the same thing because, I mean, for a kaiju dork like me, I mean, giant robots is just down the street.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's definitely a huge following. And on top of that, I mean, they are just giant robots fighting each other. And they've got these crazy weapons and they've got swords. And, I mean, they're just out in space. And there's like a little bit of science to it. I mean, it's fully involved. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't know why they haven't ported it over to America or at least to the States. I mean, I know it's a big thing in Japan. And you can still, they're still making anime and stuff like that. So, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And who knows, maybe they have, and we're just completely oblivious to it. But And if we are, please let us know. Twitter.com/nerd_news_cafe.
We're oblivious to most things.
That's true.
Yeah, we're beautifully oblivious to most things.
We have a blind side.
Good thing we have Michael Orr to defend us.
Isn't he a free agent now?
He might be.
That's why we have him.
Picked him up on the cheap. Now we just need Jaws to get in here and direct this thing. We'll be in
Jaws.
good shape.
Yeah, Joss is not on the cheap.
Just,
He could be.
he might be after his controversy.
Well, that is true, but I mean, right now he's still in high demand.
Yeah. One
I
day,
mean, if you have an ensemble cast, there's like a 75% chance he's going to end up directing the movie anyway.
Or have input.
well, I would call us an ensemble cast. So there
And
you go.
spoiler
Juice.
alert, actually Joss Whedon, you guys.
Oh, well, the big reveal. Way to ruin it, Marvel. All right, let's talk about polls, baby.
Oh, God.
No pants poll Thursday. Last week we asked the question based on my frustrations. How are you feeling about the Porgs? We don't know that much about them aside from the fact
silliness
sheets,
that they are.
the fact sheet we got from Star Wars World, and then just the pictures and toys.
Yeah, what they are, and they're adorable as hell.
Yeah, well, sickeningly adorable.
Right, Justin?
Yeah. So, are they making you nervous about The Last Jedi? That was the question. The responses were, I love them, I hate them, or we'll see. 64% of the responses were, we'll see. So, everybody's being a lot more patient with this situation than me. I was one of the percentage that said I hate them because it was split 18 and 18. I love them. We had a couple people who said that they loved them, and a couple people said they hate them.
You know, I'm really disappointed that the internet is using this opportunity to be rational and use a wait-and-see approach. I'm really, really disappointed that the internet starts being adults here when we are counting on them.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
that is not the nature of fandom.
Yeah, we had lower
Yeah,
expectation
seriously.
for you guys. Where are you
You
at?
have to be outraged, damn it.
Just like me. Be
It's either
outraged.
the best thing or the worst thing. Nothing in between,
This is the worst.
obviously.
We don't need cuteness. I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic that everything's going to turn out okay. I guess it's just that I've been burnt in the past by Star Wars with these cute things, and I just don't want it to happen again. That's what I'm saying. And
I think that's fair.
the Destinies of the Force thing made me feel nervous because I really thought it was going to be different than what it was, and it turned out to be a little too kid-oriented. And so that just, there are bad signs. There are red flags.
And then on top of that, that was before Episode 9 lost its director. So, I mean, that is another reason to kind of feel a little iffy towards the Star Wars universe.
That's true. All right, Landon, did you decide what we're going to give away for the people who retweeted and voted in the poll?
Oh, that was my choice?
Yeah, you were
we're
gonna
going to
do a
give away
secret invite.
Matt's social security number.
Awesome.
Nice.
Here we go.
1,
Yep.
2, 3.
The count.
I'm sure I have a comic book or something I can find to give away.
No Secret Empire? Because
No, because this was a deal I put out on our Twitter last week. Comixology had a buy one get one or BOGO sale on Marvel Comics, so that is how I caught up on the Secret Empire and Generations Hawkeye. So I have no digital comic codes to give out when it comes to that. I'm sorry.
okay. No, that's fine. That totally works. So I do have the digital code for the Hawkeye Generations. We could do that one.
What'd you think of that, by the way?
I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, all right. Well, then.
He's saving it till next week.
It's still in the packaging, still taped up. I just haven't cracked that one.
Well, hey, how about this? We're going to give a code out for Generations Hawkeye this week. Next week, Jay will read it, give his thoughts on it. I've read it, give my thoughts on it. And we want you, the lovely listener, or rather, the lucky listener in this sake, who wins this, let us know what you think. We can compare notes.
There you go. That's a good idea. So whoever wins this, you do have homework. You've got to tell us, give us even a brief and review. That's all we need.
Yeah, and
This will be 30% of your grade.
And you can go on the forums and write as long as you want.
You'll get extra credit if you go on the forums.
Absolutely. Gold stars.
So today we're gonna use a random number generator. We're gonna go 1 to 3. We've got 3 possible winners in the field today.
Just breaks for Bixby.
I need a Matt drum roll. And the winner of this comic will be Mr. Thomas Walker, the one who told us to talk about Gunpla as
Yeah.
as a
T-dub.
reward. As a reward for, I don't know if you were trolling or what that was, but
He is very
Still
passionate
count.
about it, I know for sure.
oh, he does. He's into the
Oh,
Gundam?
he builds
Okay.
a ton of those things.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm pretty sure he's making his own little army, and he's going to become the new puppet master with his little gun models.
Hey, well, I, for one, welcome our new puppet master overlord. I am trained in skills with the media. I would be good to round up non-believers.
There you go.
And for
just-
propaganda purposes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, Matt, you mentioned that you might have a good idea for a no pants poll this week. Have you kind of solidified that thought process?
Well, I was thinking, we've got Origins coming out, and they want you to drink Monster till you're dead.
Yep.
And then we've got Destiny just came out, and they want you to eat Pop-Tarts till you're dead. I was just thinking, maybe we should try another no shirt shout out.
Okay.
What game upcoming needs sponsorship from what product?
Okay. Give us a game product tie-in.
Like Forenza, coming out needs, like, you need to go buy tires for your car.
Wiper fluid.
Wiper fluid. Yeah. You got to get the Rain-X wipers to put on there. Though these aren't really connected.
No.
I know we think Monster's connected, which scarcely yes. And then Pop-Tarts, you made a good case of, that
bonus
I need
level.
to jump on the game and not on breakfast. So
There's only 24 hours in the day, man.
that's true, and most of those need a controller between both hands, but
Exactly.
or a keyboard.
This is your life.
This is it. This is how it ends. So, what do you guys think for the no shirt shout out? What do you think game upcoming? Do you need a product for?
I've got it.
What would be
I've got my
yours,
first
Justin?
suggestion.
Let's hear it, Justin.
There's a new Sonic game.
Okay,
Funyuns.
Funyuns with Sonic because of the rings.
Golden Rings.
Golden rings, nice.
Oh,
I think
I dig
you're.
that.
I think you're putting too much on here because really,
I like the connect. I know the others aren't really connected.
No,
I like this connection.
because if we were going the status quo, it would be Doritos.
No, if you're going the status quo, it would be chili dogs.
Yeah, exactly. You go to Sonic and you buy a chili dog.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
Crap, I just helped
You
myself.
nailed it.
I know. You go to Sonic for Sonic the game and get chili dogs, and under the dog is a special code written in the bun.
Be careful. Don't eat that dog before you check the bun.
You got to check
your buns
You
first.
got to part the bun and look for that code
part the bun gently with the fingertips.
with the fingertips. I mean, because Holy Jolly,
This is getting
Hot
weird.
Jolly Rancher, it's coming in here.
Hot Jolly Ranch.
So
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. If I could head down to Sonic and drop $24.95 to get a code for Sonic Mania and a foot-long Coney chili cheese dog, I would do that in a heartbeat. By the way, Sonic Mania apparently is amazing. So just remember that.
Go buy your Funyuns and play Sonic Mania.
that's right. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
Landon, do you have any suggestions for upcoming games?
Not a game, but I definitely do have the tie-in that I personally would suggest. If it was me, I'd go back in time and be like, "Hey, Landon Doan the gamer, do you like games? Yeah. Do you like beer? Yeah. Well, here you go. Some video game needs to have a beer tie-in. Like, if you're telling me,
Every wrestling game?
oh my god, like if you're telling me if every 12-pack of Coors Light came with a double XP code for WWE 2K18 or something, I would be so MLG, which in this case MLG means really, really, really drunk. But I would have a blast.
I was kind of thinking, yeah, WWE,
Science.
WWE, or like the latest NASCAR game.
NASCAR, yeah. NASCAR.
What it should be. It should be Madden with a tie-in with Coors Light.
There you
That's
go.
what it should
Yeah.
be.
True. I will say this. I'll put the caveat out there for this. It has to be a consumable. You can't buy like a new house and get like some kind of code. You can't buy too many new houses.
I was going to say, it's like, look, it might not be the best beer, but Coors Light is still consumable, okay?
Right.
Because after the fourth one, you really don't pay attention to the taste.
Totally
What?
fine.
Yeah.
And on that note,
Boom. That almost sounded like a gun cocking.
Click, click.
Matt, have you?
and
do you have
also,
one?
we need to have some game tie-in with whiskey. What game could tie in with whiskey?
Oh, any zombie game.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, any zombie game.
Because that's
thinking-
the only way I would play a Call of Duty game is if I'm loaded on whiskey.
I was going to suggest Red Dead Redemption.
Ooh, that's a
Oh
good
my-
one. Nice.
Yes, I like that.
I was going to say
Yeah.
GTA, but yeah, any Rockstar game. Yeah.
No, serious pitch. You get with a with a brewery and do a small batch whiskey for Red Dead Redemption. Have the bottle, make it up like it's an old timey thing. Dude, I would drop like $100 on a special edition. Like comes with the game and a numbered bottle of whiskey. Who cares if the whiskey's garbage?
And a bartender garter that you wear on your upper arm.
Yeah. Bartender.
Okay. Well, now somebody's getting into cosplay. That's just ridiculous. No.
Yeah. Stop it. I don't know. I mean, there's so many possibilities out there.
Yeah.
I already said Forenza. You brought the windshield wiper fluid there.
Okay, yeah, that's true. You did make a suggestion.
I was trying to think of something
putting
with
you
the
on the spot for
Sims,
another one.
and I was like Skittles or something that look like little diamond shapes that goes over their head.
I almost. The first thing that came to my mind was condoms.
No, that would be for the next Saints Row game.
Oh yeah, true.
Well, I have to. I just tell you. I'll be honest. I got to watch my kids when they play The Sims. They love to make woohoo.
Woohoo!
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only reason people make The Sims is to make babies and then put them in the pool and take away all the ladders and watch them drown.
I was about to say to be a torturous god is what I've understood it to be. It's like, well, I feel like society's coming down on me, so I need to come down on a society.
Exactly. I've been the ant all day. It is
That's
finally
right.
time to be the magnifying glass.
That's right.
All right. Well, I think we got some good options out there
Yeah.
then. So that hopefully that gets the creative juices flowing for the fans, and we want to hear it. No shirt shout-outs. We haven't had a ton of responses in the past, but we've got so many options for you to respond to us. Matt, tell them how they can do it.
They can hit up the forums, which is on nerdnewscafe.com. It's also a link to our Twitter, which is at nerd_news_cafe. You can also email us if you feel like the forums are too open to the public, and so is Twitter. You can hit us up at nerdnewscafe@gmail.com. We also have a Facebook page where you can drop a comment where it is public and let us know your thoughts.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Toasty.
Toasty.
Yeah.
Landon, why don't you hit up your plug?
Alrighty. Twitter.com/Landoz, LANDOZ. We did have the season finale of Game of Thrones Talk, a.k.a. Got Talk, post at buttmunchchips.com this past week. It was a week late due to computer issues. It's hard to record a podcast when your computer blue screens. I found that out the hard way.
That does make it difficult.
Yeah, but we are back. Hunter East and myself, we have dropped our final episode of this season, Season 7 of Game of Thrones Talk, a.k.a. God Talk. We do have a new project coming. We don't know what it is yet, but we do have it coming. It might have something to do with video games, and it might have just kind of a free-flowing conversation feel to it. So that would be something where we're definitely going to want your input on it as well. Hit us up on Twitter. Like I said, twitter.com/Landoz, LANDOZ. He's at twitter.com/The Tall Effect, effect with an E. My podcasts are posted at buttmunchchips.com. Buttmunchchips, sit on your butt and munch, and go Titans, I guess. Go my fantasy team. Go Vols. Beat Florida. Jim McElwain humps a shark, allegedly. You remember when we were doing that? Hashtag McElwain humps a shark.
You remember that, Morty?
Morty, yeah, there's a new episode coming out tonight.
I thought we were on a 2-week hiatus.
No, it just took Labor Day off. Now
Okay.
Which I honestly think it might be. Okay, yeah, they're using Labor Day. Half those people were probably at Dragon Con.
Probably.
And
Oh,
they,
yeah, true.
they just don't worry about it.
Yeah, they're like, we're not going to be there.
We're going to be drunk. I've been standing in line all day for this panel with the guy from Firefly. Firefly, Morty, you remember that?
Matt, 2 weeks to Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, I know. I'm ready. I'm ready for it to start. All the hip hop and the hiplu and the hippity hop ho.
Don't say that again.
Hiplu?
No. We're going to go Arrested Development like when somebody said the OC. Just don't call it that. Don't call it that.
Don't call it that. So you can find up to this point what we've been talking about on Tracking Track Podcast. You can hit us up on Podbean. That's where we reside with the podcast. We have, like I said, just released an episode yesterday, so that we'll have one more before the show starts. We're going to make some predictions on the next one. We're going to try to figure out what the first episode's about, and well, not figure out, but just make some predictions. Me and Thomas are going to go back and forth on what we think that first show is going to really show us and give us, and just spin it off and get us started. If you want to reach out to us with your predictions and thought processes before we do that show, you can hit us up at Trekking Trek Pod and let us know.
Sounds good. And I got nothing.
Really? Every week we bring these amazing plugs, and we always end on you, and you're just ho-hum over here, not using Twitter like you're a gosh darn millennial, Justin Krutzinger, just ho-hum.
In fact, I'm not even on this podcast anymore.
Wait. Are you not? Oh my God, it's an optical illusion.
Dear Lord.
So for the illusion that is Justin Krutzinger and the disembodied voice that is Matt Weaver, my name is Landon Doan. We thank you for joining us on another edition of Nerd News Cafe Stir It Up. You've been great, we've been Nerd News, or some combination of the two. Regardless, good night.